About the National Signals Bureau matter. You know, the National Signals Bureau could be a key asset in fighting Galamsey. If you have infrastructure monitoring calls in the various Galamsey hotspots, you would always know the next move of Galamseyers and illegal miners. And then you alert the security agencies. With satellite infrastructure in place or subscriptions to even planet.com, you can monitor Ghana's lands and resources every day and get high resolution imagery and videos that will let you know how people are moving in the forest, which people are there, and give you the right insights to always be one step ahead or two steps ahead of illegal miners. So you know, there are too many things we have as a country that sometimes I believe we are not optimizing to use to solve our problems.
Exactly. So let's bring Erastus Asare Donkor into the conversation now. He's been a man following up on illegal mining. Erastus, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, Winston.
Last time I read your post, the offense shelter where illegal miners had gotten in there again and they're doing their thing. Erastus, what's happening? Do we have a good news? Has something changed?
Unfortunately, I cannot give you good news because now people feel entitled that it is their government in power. They must be allowed to eat a portion of the cake where they think the previous government allowed its people to enjoy. And so there is a huge scramble to enter forest reserves illegally. And that's a big worry. And so areas that previously you won't find invasions, now you're finding invasions in those areas. And one particular example is the Boyne Tunnel GSBA. This is a protected forest. So previously, people were not entering, but now there are a bunch of Chinese miners in there as we speak, destroying that forest. And so quite a number of developments in other areas, especially Winston. Now we are seeing a lot of mining in settlements, homes, houses. So when you go to the Wasa areas, Wasa Japa, the mining in settlements started in the previous administration. It grew to a crescendo. It's still going on. The people there have justified it. They say they do not have licenses, but they will continue to mine because it is helping the people in the town. Wasa Dadieso, similar. Wasa Chinchina, same. Wasa Akupon, same. When you go to Konongo, Odumase, houses are hanging. The main road from the road leading from the main Kumasi Accra road to the Zongo area in Odumase has now been blocked totally because it is caving in.
What? Because
people have been digging beneath that tarred road. And so they've used sand to block it from both ends so vehicles do not use it for fear that any vehicle that passes through that area is going to cause the place to cave in. I have videos of it. I can send it to you. You post it and you see the gravity of it. All along the Apipiroso area of Odumase, houses are hanging. In some areas, you could see the deep cracks that lead into the pit itself. Now, take the Kumasi Accra Road and go to Osino. Glaringly, with impunity, both sides of the road, in settlement. Huge excavations going on as we speak. You go to Samreboy along the Tano River, a number of Chinese miners lining up along the tunnel, and the insensitive thing, the one insulting thing, is to find a Chinese miner pitching his washing bay directly at the edge of the Tunnel River and washing directly into the river.
Can you imagine?
As if to tell you that I'm insulting you. I don't care about you. I don't care about your country. And it's happening in broad daylight today as we speak. And if you remember yesterday, the townsfolk at Insuachi, there was a Chinese miner who was approaching one end of the tunnel, and they said no. They rushed in there, seized the excavators, drove the Chinese out of the bush, and said they will not allow them to mine because if they mine, when it rains, the tunnel will overflow its banks and it will get into their community. Now that area, people who depend on the Tunnel River can no longer do so, and there are no boreholes. So you can imagine what they used to farm, what they used to drink in that community. Same applies to, previously there were no champagne machines on the bridge at Chufo on the Pra River. Now go there and see. On the beautiful new bridge that they built, go beneath it and you see the number of champagne machines sitting on the Pra, glaringly mining with impunity on the river. Now go to Ankobra. It has been blocked. Now the Ankobra is no more flowing freely as we used to know it. Pristia Hemine, it has been blocked. Awudia, it has been blocked. It has become a stagnated pool. So when you see the sea covering it from the estuary all the way to Eshim in the Nzima area, it is just the seawater because the river itself is not flowing. And from Eshim to Banso, to Awolenzo, to Douale, those of the people who stay there, they know. There are mining expeditions along the Ankobra all the way. Recently, I did a report on one of those mining expeditions. They claim they have Minerals Commission's license. They showed it to us. When we checked the coordinates on the license, it did not match where they are mining. So it means that instead of where they've been given to mine, they have chosen to mine along the Ankobra River. And there are similar expeditions along that stretch.
Before you continue, I mean, I know that in recent times, there's been some attempt to get these people out of the forest or water bodies. Is that also not working or yielding the necessary the right result?
I must say, and I will not, I will comment where it is due. This government has spent some time in our forest. They've sent military men to flash people from the Tano Forest Reserve, for example. And that was after we prompted government that there is a number of people mining in that reserve. In fact, there were 5 groups. They managed to drive away 3 of those groups. As we speak, 2 are still mining in that reserve. Specifically, I was told compartment 21 and 17. And when you go to the Boyne Tunnel area, that is where the people are still in there. We have notified government so many times without number. I have personally sent messages to all the people who matter, but they are still mining there. Tano Nimre, Ohiam Penika, that Tano section, they are still mining there. Offing Shelter Belt, that is where recently the rapid response team was ambushed and attacked, and one person is currently fighting for his life because he was attacked with a machete by one of the illegal miners. In fact, they have pitched camp there. They have made a barrier with armed people manning the barrier. If you look at the pictures we brought to you, you see people holding rifles and hiding in the bushes. People holding machetes ready to inflict wounds on forest guards whose duty is to protect the forest. So yes, I have heard a number of things that government plans to do. I'm aware of some of the fact-finding missions that they have done to inform government. I've heard of things that the government intends to do, but I am yet to see the kind of rigorous action that will send shocking waves to people in the illegal mining sector to vamoose.
Erastus, what we'll do is that we'll get back to you tomorrow. We're going to be following up on this because a lot would have to be done. We're grateful that you made time to join us this morning. Thank you very, very much. Erastus Asare Donkor, who's with Love FM Joy News. Kojo, it looks like
Yes,
business as usual.
business as usual. And all the places he mentioned, I have been to all those places. I've personally taken drone shots of all those places. In the Konongo area, for example, Nobuem to Odumase. If you are going to Kumase, you will see some rice fields by the roadside. That's around the Nobuem area. From Asankari, you get to Nobuem. We went to look for some land there for rice. We spoke to the landowners. We agreed everything. The following week when we went there, people were mining gold. Yes. And if you even check the Google Earth imagery of that place, you see that a lot of rice is grown there. So they are the inland valleys within the Ashanti region, Western region, and all those places that were used for rice that have now been taken over by illegal miners. And I still struggle to come to terms with the fact that with all the resources at the disposal of the states, we are not dealing with this. You have a police force which could easily be between 30 to 50,000. Let's also assume that your armed forces is also around the same number. You've got helicopters, you've got aircrafts. We bought drones, we wasted money on drones, and we didn't do much. I expect this president, after campaigning strongly on Galamsey and promising to end it, to do more. I don't think this government is doing enough.
No, they're not.
They have done some, but I don't think they are doing enough.
It's a firefighting.
If you look at the scope of the problem, the approach and what is being now, I'm not feeling it.
Someone just shared with me a video. We told that our time is up. Someone shared with me a video where a concession that belongs to, I think, Capsod Mining. Now, they have a concession, and the community where they are, somewhere around Takwan Soyim, the community members have been trying to illegally mine there.
Yeah.
And they've been preventing them. You have, some officials from the Forestry Commission in there. Now, at some point in time, persons who are dressed in military uniform come in there with another group of people who don't have access to that concession, trying to take over and mine within the area. It took the Forestry Commission people to prevent them from doing so. And I'm saying persons who are dressed in military. I don't have the evidence that they are military, but it is something that the military should even check. Because people go to these sites, sometimes dressed in military uniform, and engage in all manner of things.
Look, when we were kids, I lived in Inkaria for some time, all right? So back then it was the General Achima district, and we lived in Inkaria. The forests, the rivers, so from Inkaria to Inkaria Kuma to Tuanse to all those other towns, right? All those other towns, the forests were forests, proper forest. There was a lot of timber from these forests. There was a lot of agri. Mr. President, you gave Ghanaians a promise. Last week I said it, this week I've repeated it. Lands Minister should come and give us the blueprint. There may be some security strategies and all those things that they may want to redact from that. But they should come and tell us when they are really hitting the ground and what they are going to do to fix this.
Exactly, Kojo.